Why some people disappear for days and come back like nothing happened. Have you ever known someone who suddenly disappears? No messages, no calls, no explanation. Days pass, sometimes weeks, and then one day they come back as if nothing happened. No dramatic story, no apology, no explanation. Just a simple message, a casual conversation, as if they were never gone. To many people, this behavior feels confusing, even hurtful, but the psychology behind it is often very different from what most people assume. The first thing to understand is this: most people who disappear aren't trying to punish anyone. They're not playing games, and they're usually not trying to be rude. In many cases, they're trying to recover, because for some people, life becomes overwhelming in a way that's difficult to explain. When stress builds up, their instinct isn't to reach out, it's to pull away, to retreat, to create space between themselves and the world. What's interesting is that these people often care deeply about others, sometimes more than people realize. But when they're emotionally exhausted, even simple conversations can feel like work. A message that normally takes 10 seconds to answer can suddenly feel overwhelming, not because they don't care, but because they have nothing left to give. Their energy becomes focused on one thing: getting through the day. Many of these people are also highly independent. They're used to solving problems on their own. They process emotions privately. They think things through alone. And because of that, their first response to difficulty is often isolation, not connection. While some people heal by talking, others heal by withdrawing. Neither approach is perfect, but it's a pattern that shows up again and again. There's another reason this happens. Some people feel pressure in relationships, not because the relationship is unhealthy, but because they constantly worry about expectations, replying quickly, being available, keeping conversations going, staying socially connected. When life becomes stressful, these expectations can start feeling heavy, so they disconnect completely, not forever, just long enough to breathe again. The problem is that people on the outside often misunderstand what's happening. They assume the worst. They think, they don't care. They're ignoring me. They must not value this relationship. Sometimes that's true, but often it's not. Sometimes the person who disappeared is fighting battles nobody can see: stress, burnout, anxiety, emotional exhaustion, or simply a need for silence. Of course, disappearing isn't always healthy. When taken too far, it can damage relationships. People aren't mind readers, and even the most understanding friends can feel confused when communication suddenly stops. That's why self-awareness matters. Taking space is healthy. Completely shutting people out isn't always the answer. The healthiest people eventually learn how to do both: to rest when needed, and to communicate honestly. The truth is, some people disappear because the world becomes too loud, too demanding, too overwhelming, and for a little while, they need distance, they need quiet, they need room to think. Then when their energy returns, they step back into life, sometimes acting as if nothing happened, not because they don't care, but because explaining everything feels harder than disappearing in the first place. And if you're one of those people, remember this: it's okay to need space, it's okay to recharge, but the people who truly care about you don't just deserve your presence. Sometimes they deserve your explanation too.